Good afternoon, Neuro, and welcome to Gael Zone. Alongside Chris Cilauro, I'm Cam Woolley. Starting on campus, men's and women's soccer started their seasons off to varying results. Women's soccer opened MAC play, drawing Marist at 1 apiece. Sophomore Dolene Smith with the lone tally for the Gales as they came away with a point in Poughkeepsie. They followed that up with a 3-1 victory at Delaware State. Sophia Begeni headlining this one. The sophomore tallied a pair of goals and an assist in the winning effort. Chris, what's going on with men's soccer?
Men's soccer had their home opener stalled by bad weather in the 55th minute against Loyola, Maryland. They would, however, get a 3-0 win over Stonehill at Mazzella on Wednesday, outshooting the Skyhawks 17-8. They travel to Binghamton tomorrow.
Men's water polo is riding a 3-game skid, dropping the doubleheader to Fresno Pacific and Claremont Mudscripts to finish the Inland Empire Classic 1-3, and then dropping 1 at Laverne. An unfortunate stretch, but they'll look to get things back right on campus tonight against Wagner. Chris, what's going on with volleyball?
Volleyball continues their hot start under new head coach Alyssa Kaufman. They went 2-1 in the Seton Hall Classic, getting wins against NJIT and Central Connecticut. The Gales are now 4-2 on the young season. Fingers crossed they keep this run up.
That concludes this week's Iona Sports Update. On to the pro sports front, the NFL season kicked off, and as per usual, both New York teams are losing. The New York Football Giants opened up their season in our nation's capital against the NFC runner-up Washington Commanders. After 4 quarters of abysmal offense, the G-men were defeated 21-6. Making this their 12th Week 1 loss in the last 14 years. Not good. Russell Wilson struggled immensely in his season debut, finishing 17 of 37 with 168 passing yards and a QBR of 61.8. There was one bright side, however, and it was the Giant defense. Even though they gave up over 200 yards, they only gave up 21 points. And the front four, when they were actually on the field, looked dominant, and the pass rush looked as advertised. Brian Burns led the charge, getting 2 sacks on the reigning Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jaden Daniels. And 3rd overall pick, Abdul Carter, tallied half a sack and a blocked punt in his NFL debut. Now, Chris, the main storyline here with the Giants that everyone wants to talk about is the quarterback situation and when they are going to turn to Jackson Dart.
Yeah, when is the time? I mean, you have Russell Wilson, QB1. Didn't have his great stuff the first week, and when they're going to pull the trigger. You have James Winston on the bench, and I get it. He's a rookie. You want him to learn from all the veterans, but when they're going to pull the plug and say, let's put this rookie in, let's see what he's got. He did very good in Ole Miss, so we'll see what he can do in the NFL.
Now, the really tough situation here is that the Giants are in this limbo where they can't really plan for the future and take their time because they have a coach and a GM who are in their 4th season who have gotten little to no results and are on the hot seat while simultaneously trying to develop a quarterback that they finally got to pick out and develop them the right way. And what really stinks here is that Andrew Thomas isn't healthy. The Giant offensive line was dreadful. And I think it would be malpractice if you were to throw Jackson Dart, a rookie who's already trying to learn, in much earlier than he would have anticipated, at least when he got drafted. Because week 2, you could see him as soon as the second half because this coach and this GM are desperate. Anyways, that'll be enough for the Giants. Chris, what's going on with the other miserable team in this town?
As for the also miserable New York Jets, they blew a multi-possession lead against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Justin Fields had a successful debut with 218 passing yards and a QBR of 119.1 and 2 rushing touchdowns, but it quite simply wasn't enough. Jets return man Xavier Gipson fumbled up 26-24, and that set the Steelers up to take the lead. After Justin Fields led the Jets down the field again to give Gang Green the lead 32-31, Chris Boswell had the 60-yard dagger to give the Steelers a 34-32 win. The headliner from this was Aaron Rodgers, throwing 4 touchdowns because of course he did.
Now you see with the Jets, it's a never-ending cycle of guys coming back to bite them. And with Rodgers, this should have been expected. If you're a Jet fan who followed this team for a long time, you should have figured that this guy who looked lost and over the hill last year, and the year after tearing his Achilles 4 plays in the season and basically destroying all your hope. You should have figured that he was going to come in and do this to your team. I mean, it's just awful, but some positives though. Aaron Glenn, he's had this team fighting. He had them winning. He had them scoring 32 points on an elite defense. And Justin Fields, I mean, everyone talks about his potential. He flashed a bunch of it. He moved the ball well with his legs. He threw the ball well, which is something that he hasn't really done that much. And overall, just some very encouraging stuff here with the Jets.
Definitely, for sure. Yeah, I mean, Justin Fields, those 2 rushing touchdowns. I mean, new head coach. I mean, especially with Aaron Rodgers, though. I mean, Jets fans had really high hopes for when he came and got traded over. And, we'll see what they can do. It's only week 1. There's 17 more weeks of football left, so we'll see what the Giants can do.
On the baseball, the New York Yankees have won 2 of their last 3 series in their gauntlet stretch against contenders. They took series against the Astros and Blue Jays before dropping their series to the Tigers at Yankee Stadium. They would, however, finish the series on a high note. Aaron Judge's 2 homers headlined a 9-3 win for the Bombers on September 11th. Judge's career total climbed to 361, tying Joe DiMaggio for 4th on the all-time list. 5 of 9 starters would have multiple hits, and Cam Schlittler would strike out 7 over 6 strong innings. An impressive display with New York native President Donald Trump in attendance. They start a 3-game set against the Red Sox in Fenway Park tomorrow night. Now, big story here with the Yankees, something that's been coming up lately in regards to their incompetence with managing injuries. The shortstop situation has been a problem all year, and this time it came up again. Yep. Anthony Volpe was revealed to be playing through a partially torn labrum since May, and in case you haven't noticed, since May, the guy's been public enemy #1 in this town, playing terribly, not able to defend. Nope. And Jose Caballero, he's done a great job at shortstop. He's been a plus hitter since he got traded to the Yankees. He's been a great fit, and he should be the starter going into October, plain and simple. He can steal bases literally better than everyone else. He leads the majors in steals. Right. He can play good defense at multiple positions. And so far with the Yankees, his bat has been really good. He's been getting on. And when he's on base, the most effective part of his skill set is his speed. If you walk him or if you give up a single, it essentially turns into a double.
Yeah, I mean, the errors for Volpe, I mean, that's not acceptable. I mean, you're playing at a high level in the MLB, especially Yankees. I mean, when Jose Caballero got traded, I mean, look what he's done, the impact, the speed, stealing bases. I mean, he has a really good glove too. And yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Cam. I think, come October, I think Jose should be the starting shortstop and put, Volpe on the bench and, pitch run or, we'll see what the Yankees do come October.
Whatever decision they make, it'll probably end up being the wrong one. Anyways, Chris, on to the Mets. What's going on with them?
The New York Mets keep spiraling as they get swept in the 4-game set in Philadelphia. This was one of those series that had about every type of loss. First game was a 1-0 shutout where the pitching showed up for once, but the offense did nothing. Second and third games were blowouts, and the fourth game was slightly normal, being a 6-4 loss to round out the sweep. The Mets come back to Queens to face Jacob deGrom and the Rangers tonight at Citi Field.
Now, with the Mets, I mean, it's gone about as wrong as it could go since June. I mean, you came into the season with so much hope, and now they're only a game and a half up on the wild card spot when even 2 months ago when the spiral was happening, the playoffs seemed like a given. Sure, there was talk about whether they would lose the division, and fans were mad about that. But missing the playoffs, that would just be catastrophic for the standards that they set up for themselves coming into this year. They made it to the NLCS last year, taking the potential World Series champion Dodgers to 6 games, which if you think about it, the Mets put up a better fight against the Dodgers last year than the Yankees did. So you could argue that the Mets finished as the second best team last postseason. Right. And then they go out, they sign Juan Soto to this gargantuan contract. Make no mistake, that was a warning shot that was sent out across the baseball world. It was a power grab in New York saying, hey, we're the big man in town now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, once that June series hit at Citi Field with Tampa Rays, it just felt like it was like a spiraling downhill from there. I mean, Like you said, Cam, this team had high hopes signing Juan Soto to a 15 years, $765 million deal. And we'll see what happens. I mean, we're in September now, and they're clinging on to that wild card spot. I mean, every Mets fan wanted to get that division. I mean, at this point, it's the Phillies' division now, and we'll see what happens. They bring up all these young kids, and we'll see what happens if they get that wild card and make it in the playoffs.
Disappointing for the Mets, definitely.
Definitely.
But unfortunately, that'll be all from us today. Thank you all for watching. This has been Gael Zone alongside Chris Cilauro. I'm Cam Woolley telling you to have a great weekend, stay safe, and get your homework done.